when sociopaths strike, brutally attacked by people they thought they knew.
When I'm done killing you, I'm going to kill Nathaniel. He was going to kill my baby. I couldn't let that happen.
It sends chills down my spine. The signs for spotting a sociopath in your life.
They're very good at manipulation, getting people to do what they want.
Welcome. Hearing the names of these killers sends chills down our spines. Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, and William Gacy. While they are at the extreme end of the spectrum of sociopathic disorders, on the other end, we find people who appear mostly normal and live in our neighborhoods, even right next door. Today we're talking to women who have survived brutal attacks by people they knew. Our first guest was drugged, beaten, bound, and assaulted by someone she knew. Take a look at the story of her brutal attack.
My name is Patricia, and my life changed on April 4th of 2002. Before I met Jeffrey Calabos, I had very low self-esteem. I didn't feel like I was worthy as a woman, as a mother. So I went to the gym. I worked out with Jeffrey for 9.5 months. I had a treadmill at my house, and he kept saying, you can't work out at home, you should get rid of the treadmill. He said he wanted to come over so he could tell me how much it was worth. So I said, okay, and I was all alone at my house. I asked him to come on in, and he said, you know, I got this new stuff, it's gonna make you lose about 8 pounds this week, and he gave me this small yellow pill. So I took the pill. There's about a half an hour of time that I have no idea what happened. I remember being in my bed, upstairs, wrapped in a cocoon, and he was standing there, and it felt as if I was under anesthesia. I couldn't breathe, so I opened up my eyes, and he was on top of me with saran wrap, with a towel wrapped around my face and my mouth, screaming, stop fighting, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you, when I'm done killing you, I'm gonna kill Nathaniel. Those words gave me enough strength to be able to get the saran wrap and the towel off of my face, get out of the bed. He was hitting me, punching me, headbutting my head against the wall. I know at that point, if he wouldn't have said he was going to kill Nathaniel, I don't think I could have still fought at that time. But when he started saying that he was going to kill my baby, I couldn't let that happen. The loft upstairs, it overlooked the front room. I was able to get my leg over the balcony because I thought that was the only way. When I went over the balcony, my fingernail marks were going down the wall and down the railing. I had no idea if I was hurt. All I knew is he knew where my son was. If I didn't get to my son, he would go kill my son.
Please welcome Patricia. I mean, the fact that you are here to tell this story, I mean, it sends chills down my spine. How did you escape this guy?
I truly believe God gave me the strength. My faith is everything to me, but I think it was when he started screaming that he was going to kill Nathaniel. I think every mother knows that they'll fight their last breath for their children. I myself wouldn't have the energy or the strength to fight for myself, but my baby, every mother knows that. So I was able to get the saran wrap and the towel off of my face. It ended up breaking up into a fight. He was headbutting me, punching me, kicking me.
And how long did you know this guy? He was your trainer, but for how long?
He was my trainer for 9.5 months. It took him 9.5 months to earn my trust. And I believe the first day I met him, he told me he was a registered nurse, somebody knowing of eating disorders. He was my perfect match, is what the manager said. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. I think that I lived my first half of my life as a victim, and I believe that sociopaths, predators, what I like like to refer to as monsters prey upon the weak, the vulnerable, the naive, and I was his perfect victim.
Yeah, you suffered from eating disorders and body image issues, and he was your trainer and said that he could help you. He could help you lose weight. He could help you feel better about yourself. He would make you exercise in front of the mirror, which you say is the worst thing you want to do for someone who struggles with an eating disorder and has issues with their body.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there were certain things that he would tell me what to drink, what to eat, when to exercise, when not to. He used to say he was also like my psychologist, my psychiatrist. I didn't have to pay extra money, that I needed to follow him because he was the one with the name tag. He's the one that was the expert.
So what was it about? I mean, do you think he was out to harm you from day one?
I think criminals prey upon the weak, and I think that when he shook my hand that day, he knew that most likely I would be his next victim, whoever he may have victimized in the past. But I considered him a friend, a little brother, somebody I knew for 9.5 months.
Was it ever romantic? He was not interested in you romantically.
Not that I'm aware of. He was married. He had a 2-year-old daughter at the time. I had no interest in that. All I had interest in was getting healthy. So like my doctor said, someday, if you can beat this eating disorder, someday you'll be able to see your son get married, you'll be able to see your grandchildren. That was my focus.
So cut to this day, this horrible day. What do you remember of that day? He drugged you. He gave you something. What did he say it was?
He told me that they had something new at the gym, that it was going to help me lose 8 pounds that week, which really I was 40 pounds lighter then than I am. I just kept thinking, oh my God, I want to have this, I want to get healthy. So it was a small yellow pill, and then it was a chocolatey drink. And I thought of not taking it, but I did. There's about a half an hour, I have no idea what happened. When I woke up, he had the saran wrap and towel around my face the second time that I woke up. The first time I woke up, I was like in a cocoon in a blanket.
And you heard running water. You heard the bathtub filling.
I did. When he told me, lay down, I have to leave, you probably had a reaction to whatever it is, I'll check on you later. I kept hearing water running. And you know, like when you fill up your water in your bathtub, there's a difference between it being plugged versus it going down the drain.
Yes.
There's a distinct sound to that, and all I can remember is that sound. Like, why is the water running, but it's not filling up the tub? And then when I opened up my eyes, he was on top of me with the saran wrap and the towel around my face, and he was screaming, stop fighting, when I'm done killing you, I'm gonna kill Nathaniel.
And that was when you just found every ounce of strength and you got away. You jumped basically off the balcony into the kitchen. You fell 12 feet?
12 feet.
We're going to take a quick break. There is so much more to this story, and you're also not going to believe where this guy is now. Up next, we'll hear how Patricia's horrific experience changed her life forever. We'll be right back. Coming up. So was he a psychopath? Was he a sociopath?
I think he is. It's not normal to try to kill somebody or threaten to kill a child.
Welcome back. We're talking with Patricia, who was brutally attacked by her former personal trainer. Thankfully, she fought him off and lived to share her story. He actually contacted you after this attack, but I want to go back to when you were, when he said he was going to go after your son. How did you save him? How did you get out of that house? And
I got to a neighbor's house to eventually call 911. The neighbor called 911. I called 911. The neighbor went to go find my son, which was at GameWorks with friends playing games that day. As I was calling 911, he was leaving tape messages on my business line screaming, I'm so sorry, I just needed the money, oh my God, what did I do? So he says he's sorry 113 times within 2 messages. I think he knew my past. I think that he thought that if he left those messages, I wouldn't call the police, that I was his friend and that I would protect him when he started screaming someone was going to kill his daughter. So he made up a whole story.
So was he a psychopath? Was he a sociopath?
I think he is. I mean, I think he is. I've talked to criminologists, I've talked to judges, to professionals, listening to those tape messages. It's very sociopathic behavior. It's not normal to try to kill somebody or threaten to kill a child. To me, that's not normal. That's a monster.
I think everyone, that's not normal.
Right.
What ultimately happened to this guy?
He was charged with deliberate premeditated attempted murder, burglary in the first degree, assault with a deadly weapon, and criminal threat. And through our legal system, he served 120 days.
I mean, every hair is sticking up. You're kidding me, 120 days.
Right. I think people think that our justice system is for the victims, but we have to be very clear. It is not. It works sometimes, but for the most part, it doesn't work. I always tell people it's not like Law and Order. It's not like the TV shows. It's a reality. And I know that I had to go through our legal system with everything that went through to be able to.
Did you testify? You did testify and had to see him in court. I know he contacted you after the fact. Your son is now 23 years old. I can't believe you have a 23-year-old. And I want you to share with everyone, you have turned this horrific experience into a positive.
Yes. I believe that for my faith, I feel like God has given me the best gift that I can re-give to other people, that I broke the cycle of victimization in my life, that victimization does not define who I am, that I was victimized, but I'm a survivor, and I'm so proud of that. I started a nonprofit organization called Crime Survivors, and we provide support and guidance to all victims of violent crime, families of murder, attempted murder, rape, domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse.
Because it not only affects the person it's happening to, it affects the entire family and loved ones.
It does, and we as an organization have helped thousands. I said if I could just help one other person, it was worth it, and now as a nonprofit, we've helped thousands. I want to open a Crime Survivors Resource Center because I want to make sure that victims' voices are heard, and I want them to know that there is hope, that with faith there is hope.